So we did this thing called boot camp, right? So before boot camp, we had individuals. We had weights individuals before boot camp. So school started in August. We would do individuals 3 times a week for an hour. And this is before they had to, they lowered the restrictions. They still had restrictions of how many hours you could do with your coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And we did drill work all this whole hour. And I thought I worked, but when we worked with them, everything was full speed. It wasn't you can go through the motions. Nah, it was full speed. And before we even touched the basketball, we were doing close out, slide your feet, full speed sprints, close out, slide your feet, close out, slide your feet, close out, slide your feet, close out, slide your feet for 15 minutes straight. By the time you got to 5 minutes in, everything was blurry. You couldn't see anything. So now you're completely tired. And he told us, he was like, yeah, so if you want to play in the NBA, we don't care if you can shoot the basketball when you're fresh. We want to know, can you shoot the basketball when you're tired? You can barely breathe. Can you get a bucket then? Anybody can shoot and get a bucket when you're fresh. But who plays the game? Who plays the game when they're not tired? We want to see you take it to another level. So that's how our trainings was. It was like get you completely dog tired. And so once we got past that, I'm like, okay, cool. So then we had boot camp, which boot camp was 6 o'clock in the morning for an hour straight, no basketballs in the gym, doing nothing but defensive slides, heavy jump ropes. We had camouflage on. It was like military, like it was crazy. And we had to be encouraging each other. We had like if we wasn't encouraging each other, if we wasn't communicating, if we wasn't I'm talking about, and he told us, he was like, look, the only way, he said, he was like, you want to know why you got to encourage each other? We was like, nah. He was like, because you forget how tired you were. And he's like, all right, cool. So that's the culture that he wanted. He wanted that culture. And then, because he told us, he was like, we was in the arena, 10,000, like a 12,000 foot arena. And he was like, if you want, and he pointed at the top of the bleachers, and he was like, if you want people to be up there, then we got to be like, we got to be one fist. We got to be encouraging. We got to be diving on loose basketballs. We got to be whoop de whoop. So we did 2 weeks of that, and on the last day we had to run 30 suicides in 30 minutes, and that was hell, bruh. That was hell. That was bruh. That was hell. And then I thought that was the toughest thing we had. Then we started practice the next week where we was practicing, and then they took it up a notch where it was full speed. We pride ourselves on defense, but he told us, he was like this. He was like, "We're gonna play in your face, pick you up full court. We sitting on everything. You can't dribble, you can't pass, you can't shoot without us being in your back pocket." And he said that's going to be our insurance to shoot the ball whenever you want. Like that's our insurance policy. He said, I'm not going to ever tell you you can't shoot the basketball. And he would get mad, and this would help me grow as a basketball player because I had never played at that level before. So we played against the Saluki, Southern Illinois, who had just went to the Final Four, and
Mm-hmm.
they trapped every ball screen like madmen. So they would trap. I come off that ball screen, and they trapped me, and I'm like this, bro. He called me right out the game. He was pissed. He was like that. We don't. He was like, nah, that ain't going. Like you ain't going like that. Like we not doing that. Like, and what he was telling me is like, no, you're gonna man up and you're gonna fight through that ball screen. And you're gonna, instead of them being the aggressive on you, you be the aggressor. And once I got that mentality where I was like, oh, okay, it changed my whole mindset. And then that's when I worked on my handles, I worked on my left hand. Um, and then going into my senior year, we went to the conference championship twice.
Okay.